Good morning, everyone. My name's Ali, and I'm one of the co-founders of RMP, the company behind RateMyPlacement, and I want to give you a big, warm welcome to day 2 of the RateMyPlacement Legal virtual event. Thank you very much to those who are coming back for day 2, and welcome to everyone who's joining us for the first time. We've got a packed schedule today, so very, very shortly you'll be hearing from Ella, whose video you can see. She is in the early talent team at CMS. And then we'll also be hearing on the main stage from Linklaters, and we've got a panel of trainees a little bit later. But in the interim, do go and visit everyone in the employer booths as well. So very shortly, I'm going to hand you over to Ella. Ella's presentation is full 30 minutes. And she'll be inviting you for questions. If you have got any questions, rather than put them into the Q&A functionality, come and join her in the booth afterwards, and she'll be answering all your questions there. That's me by way of an introduction. So Ella, I'm going to leave and hand over to yourself.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ali. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session, and thank you so much for joining me. Like Ali said, my name is Ella, and I work in the early talent acquisition team at CMS, aka graduate recruitment. We give ourselves fancy titles, but it all means exactly the same thing. Today, I am just going to talk to you very quickly in half an hour all about life at CMS, our undergraduate opportunities, how you apply, and some top tips as well. Like Ali says, this presentation is probably going to take up almost all of the 30 minutes that I've got with you this morning. So I would love for you to join me in the employer booth straight after at 11 o'clock and throughout the networking sessions for the rest of the day today as well. I'll be joined by a couple of trainees as well this afternoon, so you'll be able to ask them all about their life at CMS and their application process and how they really find working with us. Wonderful then. So first up, I would like to give you a bit of an intro into CMS itself. And I have to admit, before I actually started working here and working in the industry, I'd never actually heard of it, which is bonkers because we are absolutely huge. In the UK, we have 7 offices. Now they are Bristol, London, Manchester, Sheffield, Aberdeen, Glasgow and Edinburgh. Cool, remembering off the top of my head. But across the world, we have 77 offices in over 70 cities and 43 countries. So we are absolutely huge. In 2017, CMS, Nabarro and Olswang combined in what is the largest ever UK merger of law firms to form what is now known as CMS, which is the 6th largest UK law firm by revenue and the 6th largest global law firm by headcount. So like I say, we are a big firm. We are a full services firm and we do operate fully globally as well. Our turnover for 2019 was 1.4 and a bit billion. For 2020, it was well over £1.5 billion. We have over 8,000 members of staff with almost 5,000 lawyers and 1,100 partners as well. So like I say, we're quite big. Why is that important then? Well, it's really important for you guys at this stage to get a feel of what sort of law firm and what sort of environment that you want to work in, because you've got your local high street firms, you've got your global full service firms, you've also got things like barristers and chambers, which you might want to go down a slightly different route. You've got in-house lawyers and specialists, all those sorts of things. So it's really important to come along to these talks, to go to your university careers fairs, to get involved with your brand ambassadors, perhaps if you've got them on campus at university, to really get a feel for the firm. And what we say is, you might remember when you were looking around universities, they all offer a law degree, right? They all offer an LLB in law or so. Every university is completely different and they feel completely different and the culture is completely different. And when you perhaps went to your university, you got a real feel for the one that you wanted to be at. And it's exactly the same for working at a law firm. A bit like buying a house. You guys might be a bit young for that, but I certainly know when I bought my house, you look at quite a few, but you get a feeling for the right sort of firm and a right sort of house. And it's the same for choosing a law firm. You know, you need to make sure that you fit in there and it's the right fit for you as well. So at CMS, we work across lots of different sectors. We have different sectors that we specialise in. They are hotels and leisure, real estate, technology, financial services, consumer products, just to name a few. And we work with sort of global clients as well. And we really do get our trainees involved with our top clients, and we get you guys, if you were successful on a vacation scheme, to work with our clients as well. So you get sort of one-to-one time with our real life clients, which is a bit daunting for us as a firm, but which is an amazing experience for you guys. Some of our clients include huge household names such as Google, Amazon, Sainsbury's, Unilever, RBS, Hilton Hotels, and charities like the Wellcome Trust as well. Wonderful. So here is just a quick map of all of our different offices. Like I say, we've got 7 in the UK, but we have 77 across the whole world, anywhere from Brazil to Africa, and all the way into Europe as well. We do also have offices in the Middle East, and that's important because some of our training contracts, you can go and do a Dubai training contract where at least 3 of your seats will be in the UAE, with one of them either in the London office or with a client secondment as well. So as we're such a big global law firm, there are lots and lots of opportunities for you guys to go and train elsewhere. I'm just going to try and play a video. Across it works. Let's see. If it doesn't, I'll post it in my booth later and we'll have a little look. Nope, not going to work. Never mind, technical difficulties. What I'll do is I'll post this in my employer booth later, or I'll perhaps send it around to Ali and the team and they can share it as well. Or if you just Google CMS future facing firm, you'll be able to watch it. It's just about 1.5 minutes and it shows you our different offices and a bit about us as well. Wonderful then. So next up are our undergraduate opportunities and what you guys are probably most interested in finding out about. We have lots and lots of opportunities to engage with the firm sort of throughout your time at university and school. Just to point out, if anybody is a school leaver on this event, we do have our work experience options. They usually run in the summer, June, July, August time, and they can be virtual or in person at all of our different offices. So if you are a school leaver or 12 or year 13 or S5 and S6 in Scotland, then do go and check out our work experience opportunities on our website. First up then, we have our apprenticeship scheme. Now our apprenticeship is a 6-year long level 7 fully funded apprenticeship scheme where you spend a few years at university, where we partner with the University of Law, and a few years of in-training work with CMS at one of our offices across the UK. And at the end of the 6 years, you come out as a qualified solicitor. The apprenticeships are open to school leavers, career changers, and non-law graduates. So if you didn't study LLB law at university, they are brilliant because, like I say, you get paid a wage, you get put through university and your degree, and then you get first-hand experience of what it's like to work at a global law firm as well. Second up, we have CMS First Steps. Now, CMS First Steps is what's known as our Insight Week, and it is open to first-year law students and second-year non-law students. The reason for that is, as I'm sure a lot of you know, is that lots of the big law firms recruit on a 2-year basis, rolling basis. So we recruit 2 years in advance. So if you are a first-year law student, then we would be looking to recruit you for when you graduate after your 3 years. Whereas if you are a second-year non-law student, then the chances are you'll have to do your GDL, LPC, SQE, or something similar if you're in Scotland, and then we'll recruit you after that. So our first steps then is a full week of insight. The programme runs at all of our different offices across the UK. As you can imagine, this year and last year it was virtual, but we are hoping to get back to some in-person experiences next year. And you will get an introduction to our firm, an introduction to lots of skills sessions, an opportunity to shadow fee earners and meet real life clients as well. It's a great feeder into our vacation scheme, or what's known as our CMS Academy, because if you are successful on first steps, then you'll be fast tracked straight to our assessment day for our vacation scheme as well. So speaking of our vacation scheme, we call it our CMS Academy, and it is the next generation vacation scheme. At CMS, it's the only way to secure a training contract. So you have to go through our vacation scheme to be able to be considered and offered a training contract at CMS. It's 3 weeks, COVID dependent, of course. And the first week is dedicated to a whole business of law week. Now, this is when we bring all of you together. There's about 120 of you each year on our vacation scheme. We bring you all together for a week in London, fingers crossed, again, dependent on COVID and what it's going to look like for next year. We put you up in a hotel. You're paid £450 per week to join us with all of your, as I say, hotel and expenses paid for. And you learn all about the business of law. Now, this is where you come together for some leadership development training, teamwork training. You can have discussions with field experts, work through simulation exercises, and really excitingly get face to face with our clients as well. So when we were running this in person, we sent all of our participants off to our client offices. So really excitingly, that was people like the BBC, Google, Amazon, all those people. You actually got to go and visit their offices and quiz them about their work with CMS and what it's like to work with us as well. As mentioned earlier, it's the only way to secure a training contract at CMS, but this year we are proud to say that out of the over 100 people that applied for that were successful on our academy, we offered training contracts to well over 90% of them. So the chances are, if you are successful at getting a place on the CMS Academy and you perform well and at the best of your ability, then you will be offered a training contract at CMS with us. Just some statistics then, this is not to put you off at all, but just to sort of show you what such a large firm we are. For going forward, we are going to have 95 training contract positions each year. At the moment, it used to be 79, and we have upped that because we are growing as a firm, and we have a lot more capacity for some new trainees to join us. And each year we take well over 120 candidates onto our academy as well. So just quickly, some of you may be interested in this. We appreciate that not everybody who studies law may go on to be a solicitor, but we also have a wonderful graduate program, a 2-year graduate program, which is our business development and marketing program. You join us after you finished your university degree. This can be in a law or non-law subject from any university. And like I say, it's a 2-year program with 4 6-month seats in different business development and marketing programs within a global law firm, and you'll discover all about the business of law, how our fee earners and our marketing team work together, perhaps to secure clients and to secure projects, and also learning all about branding and how to really drive success for a global law firm as well. Again, I'll pop the links to all of these in my booth chat, so you can go off and have a little look at it if it's something that might interest you. Here we have just a very handy guide to eligibility for our different roles. This is for England and Wales. If you are studying a law degree and a 3-year LLB and you are a first-year student, then you can apply for our First Steps Insight scheme. If you are a second or a final year student, then you can apply for our CMS Academy or Vacation scheme. If you're studying a non-law subject or a non-qualifying law degree and you're a first-year student, you can apply for potentially an open day. If you're a second-year student, you can apply for our First Step scheme. And if you are a final year student, you can apply for our academy. If anyone is joining us from Scotland today, then on the screen are all of the different route options that you can join us. As I'm sure you know, the Scottish degrees are slightly different. They're usually sort of a 4-year degree, and you study your PEAT rather than your LPC or your SQE. So it's got a slightly different theme to it. What I would say is that our applications open on the 6th of September, so not too far away, about a week and a half, 2 weeks away. Our applications open, and our applications for our first step and our academy schemes will close on the 24th of December this year for our next year of programmes. We do, like lots of the larger law firms, recruit on a rolling basis and sort of a first come, first serve basis. So please, please don't leave your applications to the last minute. Don't submit them on the last day because, as you can imagine, we get a huge flurry of applications. But as we are recruiting on a rolling basis, it might be that there might just not be quite enough spaces for you. So do get your applications in early. The earlier, the better, and we can get you started on that process. If that all sounds a little bit confusing, so we've got lots of different options for you, then you can check out our Pathfinder at cmsearlytalent.com, and you can just put in the website what area and what level of study you are currently at, and it will show you what programs you are eligible to apply for. Again, I'll pop these links in my booth chat after today's session. So next up, I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview about how you can start to build foundations for your career now. Now is the perfect time to really start thinking about what sort of law firm you want to be at, what sort of lawyer you want to be in the future, and how do you get there. You might feel a little bit bombarded by all of the different law firms. There are hundreds of different law firms across the UK and across the world, all specialising in different areas. So it's really important to do your research and understand what sort of firm that you want to work at for your future, because chances are, if you train there and qualify there, that you'll be spending quite a lot of time there sort of going forward. So there are lots and lots of different experiences at different types of law firms. You've got global, national, local, in-house, and they all offer a very, very different opportunity. So how do you narrow down the type of firm that you want to work at? Well, it's really important to think about what energizes you and what are you most interested in. It's the same with being at university or studying anything, perhaps. So, you know, if you love what you study, if you love your job, it will make getting up in the morning and those long hours and those late nights much, much easier because you really enjoy it and it's somewhere that you want to be. So you have to make sure that that decision is right for you. You can take some time to consider researching different firms and different sort of practice areas as well. So coming to events like this with RateMyPlacement is a great start, and there'll be more events going on throughout the year as well. You know, chat to everybody on the booths, chat to the trainees, start building up a picture of where you want to be and take notes, right? So you're going to talk to so many different firms and so many different people, and you'll probably attend a few different experiences, but take notes, collate them all, and you'll start to build up a really good picture of the type of firm that you want to work at. There are some really great resources that you can use to help conduct your research. These include publications such as thelawcareers.net, Chambers UK, Lex 100, the Legal 500. There's loads and loads of information out there, and you can have a little refresh on the types of areas of law that each firm work at, their numbers, their size, their different office types, and those sorts of things. There are also lots and lots of online resources you can use, such as Legal Cheek, and the Times 100, and also obviously company websites themselves as well. And then websites and social media are also really, really handy. So we are really prevalent on social media. Lots of the larger law firms are as well. Add us all on LinkedIn, follow our careers pages on Instagram, because you'll start to get a feel of what it's like to actually be there, and you'll get lots of hints and tips along the way as well. So finally then, I just wanted to chat to you about your application and how you apply to work at CMS. So like I say, if you're looking for to join us on a training contract, the only way that you'll be offered a training contract is through our academy. And like I say, the applications open on the 6th of September and they close on Christmas Eve this year. The reason we've done that is because we found that in the past, if we closed them in January, that people would be submitting submitting them over Christmas. We actually amazingly had quite a few applications on Christmas Day. Now that's not something that we as a law firm endorse. We all get time off over Christmas. We all get a bit of a chill time and time to sort of, you know, sit back and relax. And we want the same for you guys. So we've actually moved our closing date a little bit earlier, which means that you guys aren't having to worry about submitting your application whilst you're sitting down and having your turkey Christmas dinner and opening your presents. So that's the reason we've done that for this year. So like I say, they open in September and they'll close on Christmas Eve. I know you have already had some sessions on commercial awareness sort of yesterday, but commercial awareness, you'll hear it thrown about all over the place, and law firms will hammer it home to you, but it is really, really important. And if you're not sure, if you're perhaps a first year student or you're a school leaver, commercial awareness is in a nutshell, understanding the business of law and how law and businesses work together. They're really important for law firms like CMS because, like I say, we are a client-focused, future-facing law firm, and we have to sort of really know our stuff when it comes to working with our clients. The best way to demonstrate and improve commercial awareness is to take a genuine interest in the subject. So, you know, you can do lots of things like signing up for newspaper articles, getting weekly bulletins, but if you actually end up surrounding your life in it and your studies in it, then it will just become something that becomes a bit natural to you, and you'll be able to just chat about different topics off the top of your head without having to do loads of research and stuff already. So yeah, my top tip is to try and build a genuine interest in the world around you, and in particular the business world, and how law firms can support businesses going forward. There are a few apps that you can use. Law Now app is great. You can sign up for regular updates and keep up to date with business news such as the BBC, the Times, the Financial Times, and the Economist as well. Excuse me, just going to take a drink. So applications themselves then. At CMS, like I say, we have our window for applying, which is about 3 months, the year before that you would join us for a programme. And the application process covers quite a few different things. So we have our critical thinking tests, our online video interviews, competency-based questions, face-to-face interviews, assessment days, and then the academy itself. So it is quite a long process. Don't let that put you off at all. It just means that we're doing our thorough research, and also it's a chance for you to make sure that the firm is right for you, because you'll learn a lot about the CMS sort of on the way and on its journey, and you'll get a really good feel for it as well. So first up then, the critical thinking test. Do practice these before you submit them. Lots of different firms do use them as well, so it's something that you might come across quite regularly. Ask your careers centre at your university or at your school if they have any practice tests. If not, just Google them, have a look online, practice at them, because it's good just to get into the habit of doing them and sort of seeing your scores and seeing how you can improve as well. We have our video interview, and our video interview is one of the types which is pre-recorded. So we give you a question, we give you a minute to think about your answer, and then you record yourself giving that answer. Now that can be quite daunting because you're just staring at yourself in a screen, just like I am now. I can't see any of you guys, I can just see myself talking, and it takes quite a lot of getting used to. Now luckily I've been doing it for a few years, but if it's the first time that you've been doing it, it can be really, really difficult and a bit sort of self-conscious. You can become a bit self-conscious about it. So what I would say is record yourself. Practice, practice, practice. Get your friends to ask you a quick question, or your family, or just write a quick question down and then record your answer and see what you are like at replying. You'll find that you'll end up saying or yes, or you know, those sorts of things. I find I say wonderful all the time, which is a bit of a weird one, but I'll be saying, oh, wonderful, oh, lovely. I say it all the time and it's really annoying. So you'll pick up on those sorts of little isms, which we all have, but sometimes it's just quite nice to sort of be aware of them and perhaps sort of try and steer clear. If you practice, it's also really good for keeping to time. There is nothing worse than having a lot to say but ending out finishing up in time, not having enough time sort of left. So, you know, do practice that. It is a really good skill to have. And it's also helpful for, you know, the hybrid world that we are entering into, to be able to deliver presentations like this, to be able to deliver client presentations, and be able to sort of work the other platforms which I used as well. Finally then is our assessment day and our academy itself. We do all sorts of different assessments. Now, they might be role plays, they might be teamworks, they might be simulations. So again, do chat to your careers service, chat to your law society if you've got one at your university, and they often put on employability events, and they'll often do like practice group events, you know, mooting and those sorts of things. So do get involved in those. One, we love to see it in your applications, but two, it's also a really good skill to sort of have going forward. Okay, that's it from me then. Like I say, I will be jumping onto the CMS booth via the Q&A to answer any questions that you have. But we have also got our social media links here. Like I said earlier, do give firms a follow on social media. They often pop, we often pop information on sort of commercial awareness topics on there, so you can sort of start to really build your insight and, like I say, build that genuine interest. We will of course announce all of our opening and closing deadlines on there, and we will also talk about our webinars that we've got coming up in October and November. So in October and November we will be doing weekly Friday webinars for you guys to come and join us. So yes, I'll see you over in the booth, and I'll hand back to Ali.
Thank you very much, Ella. That was great. Yeah, we'll join everyone. Go over to the booths, ask your questions, have some great conversations with all the recruiters and trainees who are in the booths. And back on the stage, we'll have Linklaters in just over an hour and 15, so at 12:15. Thank you very much, Ella. Very insightful, and we'll speak to everyone soon.